So throughout history, and even now in certain countries around the world, it's been known that there's either been a run on the banks or, they just confiscate the assets that are in the bank, right? This has happened. It's not an abnormal thing. The question today is, can the banks take your money in a recession? So when we think about the banks, and we know that the current rules and regulation, during a recession, there's been no indication in the past or even now that the banks would quote unquote take your money. Now, if a bank does fail, the government would come in and bail out the bank, and you, where your money is, under the FDIC insurance, would be able to insure up to $250,000. So the next question is, what if you have $1 million, $2 million, or even $3 million in cash? I don't mean in your pillow, but just in money markets. And a hack that you would do in that scenario is set up individual accounts, right? So one individual for you get coverage for $250. One individual account for your wife, you get coverage for $250. Then there's a joint account with you and your wife. You get coverage for maybe half that amount. You want to double check that. You could do a joint account with you and one of your child number 2, child number 3, so on and so forth. And that's a way to maximize the protection on the FDIC. Now, if you're going to take that next step, you want to go to other banks and rinse and repeat if you just have a whole bunch of money markets. And that's a way to give yourself the insurance protection under FDIC. But remember, if the banks fail, there will be a level of protection by the government coming in and taking it over. Another way to keep your money secure, because when you look at the rules and regulations within the insurance industry, they have to follow much more strict rules than the banks themselves. And yes, this does tie back to life insurance, because at the end of the day, if you're funding policies, for me, I have 12 different policies. So I'm not the guy that's telling you to buy something and doesn't put my own money where my mouth is. I own 12 different policies, and I'm funding north of $180,000 a year on all my different policies. I have policies on myself, I have policies on my wife, I have policies on my 3 children, which is for college, and I also have policies on people that work with me from a key man, key woman perspective. With all that being said and done, if the banks fail, or if there's a run on the bank, money inside of a life insurance policy is much more safe than it would be in the bank, even when you have $250,000 worth of protection with the FDIC. You're always going to have your old school folks that want to keep money in cash inside the pillowcase, inside the bed. I'm not saying that it's safe, but I'm not saying it's safe. And what do I mean by that? If your money is in cash inside your home and your home burns down, well, guess what? You can't replace the cash inside the home, although you can replace the value of the home itself. So you always want to be careful with cash. Another secure place to put your money is into gold, but you want to make sure that you're buying the right kind of gold that gives you that protection, gives you the letter of certificate, and you may even want to own a gold bar. But then if you own a gold bar or two, you want to make sure it's in a safe place, in a safe that, God forbid, if there's a fire, it doesn't burn down. Not that I know if gold burns or not. The point being, safety, understanding flight to quality, understanding that when there's a run on certain things or a run on certain banks. Once again, I always say this in all my videos because it's important when you really understand your philosophy and your goals and objectives. What's going to happen is you will not be left holding the bag when winter comes. And like I said the other day, and I'll say it again, summer doesn't like me because I'm too hot, and winter doesn't like me because I'm too cold. With that being said, if you like what we're sharing here, we're bringing content every day, click the subscribe button. We're looking for more comments, interaction, and obviously if there's any questions, concerns, or even something where you want to speak to one of the members, feel free to click the link below.